Do you ever feel like you make a mistake in Dota? Now, who am I kidding? You guys never make mistakes. I mean, really, you guys would be the last people to admit when you do something wrong. But nonetheless, in today's video, what we're going to be doing is talking about 5 of the most common mistakes. I'm going to look at 5 examples, in-game examples, where someone makes a mistake in a pub, and then you need to fix. Really, these are type of things that are literally going to happen every single game, completely regardless of the role you're playing, the hero you're playing. It does not matter. This video applies to you. If you follow what I say, you will simply become a better player. But yeah, nonetheless, let's get into the video. But before we do, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and of course, go get your GameLeap sub. If you're struggling with women, the GameLeap sub is the best way to attract the opposite gender, assuming you're a man. Now, if you're a woman, you're watching this video, first of all, hey, you can hit up my business email. It's in the description down below. And yeah, now let's get into the video. So the first example we're going to be looking at is trading. When do you trade? Most bad players trade at random times. Typically, it's just kind of based off a spell cooldown and whenever they're feeling it. It's like, oh, my testosterone was pumped for a quarter of a second. I'm going to cast my spell. And that's kind of what this example we're about to watch here looks like, because it's literally based off absolutely nothing. Now, after we look at the clip, I will talk about what you can do instead. So as we see here, Dawnbreaker Sand Lane. Nice, a lot of kill potential. I would say, though, that they have the most kill potential at level 2. When Dawnbreaker can do her spinny thing, and Sand King can turn into a, some sand, then they could probably kill the Grimstroke, no problem. But as you'll see in this clip here, not saying you can't pressure at level 1, but the time they go is wrong. So as we see, the Grimstroke is right here. Now, this is obviously better than him being right here. It's easier to kill him here than here, but it's still not great. Why? Because the Grimstroke is full HP, he's under his tower, so he's gonna get the extra armor and the extra regen. And yes, I will say that right here, the guy is certainly out of position, so if they were to go on him right here, I would sort of understand. It would make a little bit more sense, right? But you'll see that the time in which the Dawnbreaker goes is a little bit late. At this point, the guy is already retreating. It took him like 3 or 4 seconds just to realize that the Grimstroke was out of position, sort of out of position, not even that out of position, sort of out of position. Then it gets even worse. There's no communication, there's no pings, the players they both don't realize that the guy's out of position, and therefore this guy goes in, it takes Sand King an extra few seconds to realize that as well. Now Sand King stuns when he's literally under tower, and the trade becomes a disaster. These are the type of things that lose the lane. If you don't think you're doing this, you're probably wrong, and you need to watch your own replays. You really do, guys. You have to watch your own replays. So let's go over some better examples, or let's quickly talk about what they could do better. So for instance, right here, lane's pushing in. This is good. Basically, what I would be thinking right now, that because the lane is pushing in, is I'm going to wait till I'm level 2, I get some mana. Unfortunately, he just lost his clarity. Hopefully he ships a mango. I don't think he's going to ship a mango, which could be another point in this video, but he could just wait. Now, look at this positioning. Instead of waiting for the lane to push in, and for a better kill opportunity to come up, the Dawnbreaker is instead going to, at half HP against 2 level 2 heroes, walk up and start denying creeps. When you are half HP with low resources, you cannot just simply contest. This is when you have to wait, right? You have to wait, because otherwise you are going to lose your kill opportunities. On top of that, I don't know why it took the Grim and Lifestealers so long. Once again, well, I know why. It's because, they're maybe haven't played the game long enough, or, whatever the reason is. But he ends up going down. And this is what I'm talking about. You have to know when it's your time. He fought into a double wave, and when the Grim was basically under tower, right? So how could you fix this? Okay, there's a couple ways. Number 1, Sand King could drag the wave. He could take the wave from in between this tower, drag it to here, static it here. Then the enemy will have to, at some point or another, walk up, and they can go for a kill around here, right? A lot of room to close the gap, a lot of room to chase them down, and most importantly, a lot of room for the enemies to split up. Think about it. If the wave is here, it's very likely the enemy's going to split up, because Grim is probably going to pull, or Grim is going to walk up to contest. Lifestealer might be here CSing, and all of a sudden, you have a kill attempt. And that's my first point. I hope that really resonates with you guys. I hope it makes a lot of sense, because players, they really do just sort of go at random. Even here, look at this W. What in the world? What in the world? Why in the world is he putting a creep in deny range, shoving in the wave that's pushing into him? It's pushing into him. He needs to static the wave outside of tower range and chill. Instead, he griefs his entire advantage! Like, this pressure is great, okay? The pressure's great. The lifestealer was out of position as well, right? You want both aspects of this. Lifestealer was also out of position, wildly out of position. So it doesn't look that bad, right? It doesn't look that bad. It's like, okay, that was pretty good. Yeah, they actually synergized their spells and Grimstroke wasn't there. There's some legitimacy to that kill attempt, and I will give him respect for that. But at the same time, creeps are the biggest advantage, because you know what? If they have a salve, which they don't, oh my god. If they have a salve, that attempt it's not in vain, you still force out a salve, but it's not that great, right? Because then Lifestealer would get free farm under tower, which he might actually get anyway. He is a Lifestealer after all. He can sort of, lifesteal. It's not too good at this point in the lane, so to be fair, there's some value in that. But yeah, let's get into the next part. Point number 2 is this Medusa. Croissant, which I think is a reference to the Jimmy Neutron meme. Do I even really have to explain what's wrong here? I just... it's fun. It's okay. It's alright. We all make mistakes, right? We all make mistakes. It's just like, sometimes we all want to try to be innovators. We want to try to change the world. We want to do our own thing. And I love that. It's a lot of fun. And maybe Croissant is playing for fun. In which case, more power to you, Croissant. But at the same time, guys, when I play Dota, I typically want to try to win the game, right? I want to try to win the game. I don't want my Ancient Apparition to walk halfway across the map to salve me. In fact, I don't know. Why is this guy even here? I'm sorry, this isn't even supposed to be part of the point. I'm just like, what is this guy doing? Where is he even? What is he doing? Why is he here? Oh, did he die and just walk mid? He died and then walks all the way to mid to salve his Medusa? I'll move on from that. Okay, so, yeah. Guys, we all love to be innovators, right? We all want to be the next, what's the guy's name? Thomas Edison, right? But at the same time, sometimes, you make a bit of an oopsie. We don't skill mana shield. And you might be saying, Speed, come on, I'm not this crazy. But at the same time, let me give a couple of other examples, right? Watch the clip play out, watch some stacks. Look, this guy clearly watches videos, or at least has played a lot of Medusa, whatever it is, right? He clearly studies some form of Dota, or cares about increasing efficiency and making his game better, right? Great, I love it. But, I had this example, right, in my recent games. I'm playing with a Sven, okay? This is a real example, by the way. I'm playing with a Sven. The Sven was having a solid game. He's doing okay. It wasn't the best, it wasn't the worst. And he went, I think, Mask of Madness, so I don't remember the exact item build, but it was something along the lines of Mask of Madness, Echo Saber, and then the problem with his build, with his next item, it was his next item, he bought an axe. An axe. Well, there's a couple of problems with this axe item. Number one, no one buys it anymore, which doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. For instance, Ancient Apparition has recently shot into the meta. I wouldn't say it was that popular until pretty recently, and no one was playing it. So you could argue that, okay, it's fine, and no one was playing it. In fact, it might be really good, and no one was playing it. But, the reason why no one is buying Sven Ags is because it was heavily nerfed. On top of that, he didn't buy the most integral item on Sven, Black King Bar. Playing Sven without Black King Bar in the large majority of games is near impossible. The hero simply gets kited easily because it has to run around, it has to right click. Its form of damage is right clicks. If your hero right clicks for damage and you don't buy BKB, and you might be saying, oh, but what about Juggernaut? He right clicks. Not really, right? Omni Slash it's not really right clicking, it's a spell. You kind of see what I'm saying, right? It's not really a right click, and so he can get away with it. So if you're a melee right click hero, it just doesn't really work. You're gonna grief your game, and I've seen it over and over and over again. I had a Faceless Void. He was having a pretty good game, so you know what he did? He said, my game's going pretty well. I got a Mask of Madness, I got a Sanch Nyash, a Maelstrom. I'm gonna go Satanic. I'm having a great game. I'm gonna go Satanic. The problem was the enemy team had like 6 stuns. You know what happens when you have 6 stuns and you chrono someone? It's very simple. Why is Medusa roaming? Why is she roaming? Why is she roaming? Why is she roaming? But you don't get any damage off in your chrono. Oh, solo kill. Solo kill. Look at this. Oh, look at her go. And so that's a crazy thing, yeah. Just like really be careful about innovating too much. Really be careful about going too greedy of builds. 9 out of 10 times it just griefs you. And yeah, let's get into the next point. Alright, in our next clip here, we're going to talk about positioning and awareness in fights. Guys, it's really hard to pay attention to your teammates in fights and adapt your positioning based to their positioning. But if you don't do this, you're gonna lose games because of it. It's one of those things that's, yeah, it's just tough. But let's look at this example here so you can see what I'm talking about. Right here we got, you know, Dawnbreaker. We're going back to my man, Dota. And he's going in, right? So he's going in, he's walking up. They see a gap. Okay, Grimstroke walks up the hill, sort of. Grimstroke hits him with the frickin' 360. Poof, snaps his ankles. Okay, so the ankles get snapped. AA throws out an AA blast. It hits onto the Grimstroke, just barely. Now. The first thing, this isn't even really the main point, but I'll cover it anyway. The first thing is, obviously you wouldn't want to chase here. Not obviously. But you wouldn't want to chase here because you don't have your mobility spell. If you can't close the gap, you shouldn't really chase unless you're trying to bait. Now, is this a good place for him to bait? Let's say he was to run to here. No, because then he's under a tier 2 tower. They're going to have the vision advantage. They're going to clump up on this hill specifically, right? They're going to get clump on this hill. That's going to cause for good torrents, good boats, good inkswells, good tornadoes, good etc. Right? You don't want that. And yeah, so let's see. He chases first off, right? So this is obviously just freaking horrendous. It's absolutely awful. Like a complete throw. He's probably like, "Where's my team?" Blah blah blah. Okay, horrible play by the Dawnbreaker. We can all agree on that. Now, positioning. Now, Dawnbreaker dies. Okay, right away. The next step is just to leave. Okay, like literally, I could simplify this all just by saying like, "Yep, your teammate died. Just leave." And now, even though Dawnbreaker goes wildly out of position and dies, Sand King is going to go in. Okay, I understand you pop your ulti, you're feeling the rush, but he literally should run away here. I know it seems crazy, but he should just straight up run away. On top of that, even if he does go in, he's just not paying attention to his teammates. No one's clearly communicating, no one's looking at their teammates, because who is this staple? Who is the carry of this team? Just by looking at their heroes. It's Medusa. Of course it's Medusa. If you have a Medusa or you have a hard carry, they are typically going to be the staple of your team fights. Now, I'm not saying they have to be with you for every single fight, but if you're trying to take a 5-on-5, they have to be, you know, the person in front or the person leading the fight, etc., right? Especially as a Medusa, right? She wants to be taking a lot of damage, right? And so you get the point. He needs to run away. Weaver needs to run away. They completely lack the awareness to run away. AA even goes back in. And it's kind of just save your buddy syndrome at this point, or hey, we can win the fight syndrome, or whatever it is. You have to learn to run away from these bad engagements that are under towers, that are started in a very poor way. They're horrible, number one. He should have popped this hood. And yeah, just please, guys, pay attention to A, did your teammate die? If it's a 4v5 and you didn't gain anything out of your teammate dying, do not go in, right? And is your team ready to fight? Are they going forward or are they going backwards? And the only way to improve this really is just to look at the minimap more. It really is. Yeah. The next point. Do you guys know that weed was recently legalized? Weed was legalized in New York. Yes, it was recently legalized in New York. And on the topic of smoking, it's very important. So I'm going to open the shop. This is going to be a really fun mini game, all right? Here we go. This is why you watch my content. How many smokes do you think are in the shop? How many smokes? How many smokes? Take a guess. It could be 0, 1, or 2. That's the only options, okay? You have a 33% chance to get it right. All right, here we go. Oh, it's 2. What do you know? It's always 2. And even if it's not always 2, people don't use them. As you guys might know, I play on a Smurf. I'm a proud Smurfer. I'm a huge advocate for Smurfing. Do you see that the account is 6,540 MMR, right? People still don't smoke, almost ever. Guys, I am in the upper, whatever it is, 0.001, whatever. People still don't smoke. But if you go watch pro games, they constantly smoke. There is never a pro game where they don't use at least 3 to 5 smokes. Unless the game just instantly ends. Like, it's like some 10-minute GG. Maybe they don't then, right? Even then, they've probably smoked at some point, right? Try to make a desperation play. I cannot stress. Vision is everything. Who you jump is everything. Catching people off guard. Getting your team on the same page is everything. And literally, smoke does all of that. It's a 50 gold item, and it will drastically increase your ability to gain MMR. Why would you not buy it on every single roll? It's like observer rewards. I can literally make that another point in this video. It's like observer rewards. Are you kidding me? They're free, and you don't buy it. How is there a free item that tells you where people are that everyone doesn't say, I want to buy it? It's like the Tome of Knowledge. How are rewards not like tomes? How are they not like tomes? It's literally free, and it makes your game easy to play, better to play. It will make you get more net worth because you won't die. You can take more aggressive farm. You can get more solo kills. You see what I'm saying, guys? Like, it's literally the free and 50 gold items that change the game more than any other items. You see this Weaver Lincolns? Far less important than Smoke. Far less important. And yet, it won't be purchased. Please look at it that way. Until you start to really internalize what I'm saying and seeing the impacts, watch... Dude, hit the bug. Oh my god. But until you start seeing that and implementing and watching pro games and saying, wow, they really do smoke 24/7, then you're going to have a hard time at least getting to like high immortal. And I know that might not be your goal, but the point is, even getting to other ranks is going to make it 10 times easier to win team fights in the late game, mid game, and make it just makes everything easier. All right, let's get into the final point. And the last and final point in this video is going to completely change the way you think. All right, this is some revolutionary stuff. You've probably never heard of this before. Okay, in this clip here, we're going to see Grimstroke type something in all chat. It's really crazy. It's not something you see very often, but I want you guys to take a look and tell me what you think about it. Okay, so he's going to end up going down, gets burrow struck, pops the Inkswell, doesn't pop the Essence Ring, goes down, right? Very, very unfortunate, okay? He says rep Kunkka. Now, this can mean a couple of things, right? It could mean he needs to call a representative. Maybe Kunkka's a representative of a company that he needs to reach out to. Maybe he likes the reputation of Kunkka, like Kunkka has a good reputation. But I think it probably means report Kunkka. And when you type this, typically what it means is that you want to report someone. You want to use Dota's in-game system to get the player sent to low priority or lower their behavior score. And what you'll realize from this game is that Kunkka, he actually has very reasonable items. He has decent items. He definitely didn't play well. He's 1-8. That's obviously not a good score. But you see the guy, from what I've seen, is actually trying, right? He's not doing well, but he's trying. And what you should realize is if your team is trying and they're not doing well, that just means that you're actually about the same skill level as them. I'm gonna go to the screen, right? Okay, we're gonna go to the screen here. Look at the game. You notice how everyone's about the same rank? Why do you think that is? It's because they're about all the same skill level. It doesn't mean they do all the same things or make the exact same mistakes. After all, they're playing different heroes and different roles. But yeah, don't do that. Do your best to just not worry. And yes, there are plenty of games where I do stupid things and I get people mad and I want to report people or people make me mad and I want to report them. Of course, it's tough. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. That's my saying. It is what it is. Move on to the next one. If your goal is to get MMR, don't do it. Just don't worry about reporting people. Don't like freak out about game ruiners, smurfs, account buyers. And I know it's like, oh, that's easy for you to say, Speed. You're already 7K. Like, guys, I went through the same journey. Like, sometimes I think people forget that, like, I was 2.3K MMR at some point, right? I'm not like some superhuman that just calibrated 7K. I was 2.3K. I remember the day I calibrated. It was when Dota had the old client. It's like the weird old client with, when it would put your, like, solo... did it even have pretty MMR? It would put it on, like, the home screen. Yeah, it was before Dota 2 Reborn, right? That's what it's called. And, yeah, I was at that point, too. Well, my first game of solo queue, I believe, was Veno support, which is something... It's actually pretty funny. I remember I took Gale. I read the spell. I'm like... This is freaking nuts. I can slow by 50%. All the other slows aren't nearly as good. This is broken. At the time, I didn't know that the slow faded, but there was some truth to it. I think I won the game. And yeah, I even have some old YouTube videos of my recordings. But nonetheless, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you want to see me react to one of my old YouTube videos, I think that would be a lot of fun. That's actually a great idea. I'm gonna probably do it. But if you want to see it, let me know. I have some games when I was like 3K or 2K, and you guys might really enjoy that. I'll react to my own gameplay. I'll coach myself. That's pretty funny. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'm out. Peace. And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the GameLeap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below, and I'm out. Peace.